Check, check, check. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Denmark. We are here for the second event of the GKA Kite-Surf World Tour here in the location of Hvide Sande. I'm Jo Ciastula, and joining me in the booth I have Gemma Hamaini. Morning, Gemma.
Good morning, Joe, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. We're super stoked to be back here at this amazing spot in Denmark, and with our live stream, which is going to be running here throughout the week. Hopefully we're going to have some good conditions so we can bring you guys all the action. Joe, can you tell me a little bit about the spot and what we might expect condition-wise this week?
Well, Hvide Sande, its name, its translation in Danish, it means white sand, and this is because of the beautiful white sand beaches. We've got a wave spot on one side, which is the south side of the pier, which is where we have the event site, and then there's also a nice little flat water lagoon. So really, really complete location. Conditions, when the northwesterly comes in, that's when the magic starts to come in. You can see a little right-hand impelium waves. The guys and girls were out on the water a couple of days ago, and you could really see them being able to get 3 or 4 turns and then mix it up with the strapless. So yeah, hopefully that northwesterly will start to blow through. Conditions looking a little sketchy at the moment, but Friday and Saturday is looking good, so really hoping to see the best of the best out on the water here in Denmark.
So talking of the best, can you give us a little bit of an update on who the big names are to look out for during this event? Obviously the last event in Silt was completed just a couple weeks ago, so there was a lot going on and there was a lot at stake during this event. Give us a little lowdown on what we should be looking for.
Well, with the level that there is here on the World Tour now, is any heat can be a final. Especially one of the things that impresses me is they are pushing it. Both the ladies and the guys, they're just going bigger and bigger, and they are really looking for that quality over quantity. So it's not as much as a spin to win anymore. They really are pushing it. They're tweaking, they're adding the grabs, they're adding the style and adding the flow. They are really dancing out there. So obviously some of the big names, you know, James Carew from Australia, just coming off of a very big win in Silt. He's hungry. He wants it. He actually won the event also in Cape Verde almost a year and a half ago, which is counting for the ranking at the moment. Also, Ayrton Cosolino, he's hungry. He's in the silent. We know he's ready to pounce. And then, you know, we have Camille, Delannoy, Matchu, Lopes, Francesco, Cappuzzo, always all of those big names. Once again, any heat can be a final. On the ladies' side, Carla Herrera is here, one of our prior world champions. And then at the moment, the girl to beat is Capucine Delannoy. She's the only lady to land double front rolls on the strapless side, and then Perry Roberts, who is also leading the overall ranking at the moment, but she prefers more the waves to the freestyle. But hey, GKA, we are looking for that most complete rider, so it's definitely going to be interesting.
Some proper young talent out there now, like you said about Capucine. She's just been absolutely pushing it so far for the women in this discipline, so it's going to be really exciting to see how she manages to pull it off here. And I was lucky enough to arrive at this event a little bit early, and I have to say the conditions that I witnessed on the first day were absolutely amazing, so we know what can happen here, and we're just literally waiting for it to kick in. So fingers crossed this will happen soon. Like you mentioned before, it's the first time that the GKA has been here in Denmark. It was obviously meant to happen last year. It got postponed due to the COVID pandemic, so we're super happy to be here and see this incredible location. And you had a little bit of a chat yesterday with Tom Hartman, who's our tour manager, and with Katrine, who's the local event organizer. So I think we're going to take a little look back to what you guys spoke about yesterday.
Welcome everybody to beautiful Denmark here in Hvide Sande. This is the second event of the GKA Kite-Surf World Tour, and sitting with me here in the booth I have Tom Hartman and Katrine, event organizer. Tom, Katrine, thank you very much for being here with us. So Tom, second event of the season. We've just came back from Germany. Run me through where we are at the moment.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. We are here in Denmark now for the second event, the second real event of 2021. But actually, it's the third event that's going to count into the world ranking. Last year, 2020, we just ran one event of the kitesurf discipline, which was in Cape Verde. And then the pandemic started, so we didn't crown a world champion. But the results of this event of 2020 are counting into this year's world champion ranking. That means we have Cape Verde. We were in Silt last week, now in Denmark, and then going to Morocco after this event. So there's still a lot of things open for the tour, let's say. At the moment, we got James and Perry, the two Australians, sitting in the hot seat for now. But I mean, the season is not over yet, and the nice thing on tour is every spot has different conditions. Every spot favors a bit different riders. So we're gonna see how this is gonna turn out here. Denmark has can have some good wave riding, so it might, have more advantage for guys that are wave orientated than the freestylers. But I'm happy to hear what Katrine thinks and see what she's gonna look out for the action on, or who are the riders she wouldn't see perform here.
Yeah, well, the conditions here can be quite different. We are weather dependent, so it can be everything from southwest, where it will be a little bit more tricky, on to the northwest, where we have really nice clean conditions. So as you said, it is a little bit depending on what we got for the conditions, on whoever riders will be favored here.
I think also one of the things to talk about is the third event of the season. Like you said, we've mixed it up with the one from Cape Verde and the one from Sylt. GKA is looking for the most complete rider in the world, so you have to be good at everything. You have to be able to perform in the chop, in the waves, in the freestyle. And one of the beauties of the format also is, depending on the type of conditions we have, we can go 100% freestyle or we can go 100% wave.
Exactly, and that makes the format so suitable, I would say. It doesn't matter where we go. We are aiming to go to locations with waves. That's the priority. But you never know the weather is going to be like. You can have flat spots. You still are able to run a competition, because it can be anything from a pure wave format to a pure strapless freestyle format, or anything in between. And what we expect here, probably similar to Sylt, is probably a mixed format or pure wave format. But yeah, you never know, and in the end we have to take what we get, and that's I would say, the beauty of this discipline. That you can adapt any spot on a strapless board, you can make the best out of it.
Well, there you have it. Hopefully we'll be able to have some of those conditions here. Will it be freestyle? Will it be waves? We'll find out very soon. Great to catch up there with Tom and Katrine yesterday. As you can see, first time here in Denmark, and joining me right now in the booth I have my good friend Francesco Cappuzzo from Italy. Morning, Francesco.
Good morning, everyone. We are here in the beautiful location of Denmark. First time here for the GKA. Actually, it's not my first time here in Denmark. I really enjoyed this location. I've been here for the last almost 2 weeks. We scored some really good conditions, so can't wait to start the competition.
Yeah, Francesco, I mean, if anybody knows you, one of the things is you're traveling around Europe non-stop, because I think your garage must almost be like a house. The amount of sports, and one of the things we always say about you is a waterman. You windsurf, you foil, you kite, you pretty much do anything possible. And when we see your van, it's just all full of toys. You've been here in Denmark for a couple of weeks, and I know the wind throughout the last couple of weeks hasn't been the best, but you were able to get a session in there. How do you see this location for the competition?
Well, actually, I've been here for the last 10-15 days almost. I went back to Italy quick to do another wind competition as always, but then I came back here straight away to test the spot. And actually we had like this northwest wind that is pretty usual here, and with this pier here makes the water condition super clear, so you have flat in between waves, really nice kickers from the right, and the wind was pretty steady and kind of heavy, so it's like you feel the power on the kite. I've been on my 8 most of the days, and it was really cool. Actually, it's pretty close to my home spot, because we have wind from the right, really nice rolling wave where you can connect 5-6 turns, so really can't wait to compete here, because it feels like home almost. So yeah, but we are a little bit unlucky the first couple of days, but hopefully late in the week we're gonna score some really nice condition.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about this location on the south side of the pier, this is the wave spot. There's also, as we mentioned before, a flat water location. It's like you say, it almost reminds me also of Viana do Castelo in Portugal. It has that little right-hander. The boys and the girls, you've been saying, you can hit 5 or 6 turns on the wave and then also mix it up. Talking a little bit about formats, like now, depending on the conditions, we can adapt the format to be able to get the competition on the water and to be able to give the public a show. You know, in Sylt, you just came back. Congratulations on that 5th position. Insane riding. The conditions there, you had 2 waves and 2 freestyle moves. Tell me how you feel about this mixed format.
Yes, in the past we were already mixing, but it was in a different way. Now we are more focusing on getting the best out of it. So we split the heat in 2 parts, the wave part and the freestyle part. Like that we can choose like the best gear and focus on what we need to do. Like as we test this in Sylt and work like perfect. Really, all the riders will like it. So probably even here we can go on this way or not. This would be like a decision from all the judges and the head judge. But really enjoyed this kind of format. So we were just going with our best gear, having a caddy on the beach. At the mid of the heat, there was a flag going up, and that means you can go back, change your gear, and go straight in the water again, and perform at the best with the next section. Maybe we start sometimes with freestyle or with wave. That depends about the heat order and so on. So that's the format when we do mix. When there are no waves, for sure we go for pure strapless freestyle, so 4 or 5 tricks counting out of 12 attempts. Or we might go even, Juan Antonio told us, if the conditions are there, we can even go for pure wave riding, because the spot is really nice. The other day, like, it's a really good, as you said, surf spot. There were a lot of surfer, a lot of winger, kiter, windsurfer. Is a really good spot to do almost everything in the same day. There were people surfing while we were kiting and people winger while there were windsurfers. So it's like really nice to mix it up with everybody.
Yeah, it's what they say about this location here in Hvide Sande. It is one of the most complete water sports locations in the north of Europe. And like you say, Francesco, it's great to see the family out there. You know, in the end, it's about sportsmanship and it's enjoying the ocean. So it doesn't matter if you're a winger, a windsurfer, a foiler, a surfer. Respect the rules, respect the right of way, and everybody can have fun out there. Come on, give me a little bit of insight here. So, big players coming into the competition. You are one yourself. The world title is up for grabs. Everybody is hungry. Who do you think are going to be the people to keep an eye out on this competition?
Well, been 2 very hard years without any stops. So some riders keep like motivation up and then train a lot. Some others, they just like let's say chill or maybe switch with some other sports or rest. But literally, like in the top 10, everyone can win. We are like the sport is. We are really everybody. We are pushing a lot, especially the top guys like Ayrton, Matchu, James for sure. They are pushing a lot. James, especially like the last years, been pushing a lot. Like every event, really like pushing more and more. We are going in the direction of like bigger stuff, like big loops, as high as you can. You need to land hard and clean. So that's the direction we are kind of following. And actually I was a bit scared at the beginning. I was always like, okay, let's do more technical stuff. I prefer to do like flips, tic-tacs, big back roll. But actually like right here, because I've been training a lot with Ayrton and James, so I said, yeah, well, let's try. And then I start to loop on the other side, going out, eating the kickers. Wow, that feels really good. Now I just pray for some strong wind and big kicker. I just want to send it and do big loops. I really like it. So yeah, that's where we are pushing all.
Absolutely, and you can see, I mean, all you have to do is watch these guys on the stream. We saw it in Sylt in the highlight videos. They are going to the moon, and it is really one of the things I like. It's now gone from being spin to win. It's gone over quality versus quantity, so it's all about the style. It's all about tweaking. It's taking that risk and just going from one edge of the competition area to the other in one whole jump. So, Francesco, thank you very much for joining us here on the stream. We are now going to go over. We caught up yesterday with Head Judge Mallory and ex-rider turning into judge now, joining the family, Paulino Pereira from Portugal, to talk about those judging formats that we see. I wish you the best of luck, my friend, and see you very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Francesco. Over to Mallory. Okay, so it's time to get technical. I'm sitting here in the booth with Head Judge Mallory and new member of the family, Judge Paulino Pereira, to talk a little bit about the possible formats and what they are looking for from our riders. Welcome, guys. So, Mallory, tell me a little bit what you guys are looking for and what we are probably going to see at this event.
Hello, Joe. It depends on the conditions, always. Unfortunately, on this event, for now, the forecast is not looking too exciting. We definitely prefer to have waves on each event. But so far, it was looking a bit better for the end of the week. But if tomorrow the wind kicks in and we have no waves, we will have to start heading with pure freestyle. And we will ask the riders probably hits of about 7 to 8 minutes. And then they have 12 trick attempts and they have to perform 12 tricks, and we will keep probably the best 4 scores. Unfortunately, if there is no waves, we have to carry on with the competition and start because we need to get a result. And if we start like that and then suddenly the forecast changes and we're lucky to have some waves, then we will add a bit of surfing element to the competition. And yeah, we just have to pray for some waves.
Thank you, Mallory. So, Paulino, welcome to the family, joining as one of the judges, first event back in Germany. Tell me a little bit of how it is to go from transition to one of the biggest and heaviest riders out there and now coming behind the scenes, seeing it from the other side as a judge.
Hello. It's a different experience, you know, and I never thought about it, and after getting invited by Mallory, I was shooting on in Cabo Verde with my sponsors, and he said, "Man, you are not competing." I stopped for competing before the COVID came, and I was just more focused on videos. And he came to me, "Ah, you are a good rider, you are complete, and maybe we need you and to give you some inputs." And I thought about it, and then he pushed me again, asked me, and yeah. And so I realized, okay, I'm gonna try it. And then we had Silt, and it was an amazing event, full of wind. Seeing the guys pulling up some nice tricks, and like you see the tricks itself, you are looking to it, and it's like how hard it is to do a trick, and depending on the conditions, like Silt, I had the chance to have a session, and how hard it is to land on that choppy. Yeah. And realize, okay, we have to give some really good points because they are doing really hard things. And if you try also the conditions of each spot, also helps a lot on the judging criteria, and also all the experience I have with the competition, and together with the conditions of each spot and the experience I have for all the spots we've been, I think I can help on that, giving a fair judge on that. And from my side, I always feel motivated I would like to be there to send it. But in the end, we always need someone like me, or maybe in the future another rider coming in to help on this, on the judging and making fair also for the judge and for the riders. Because it's always, now I understand when they say don't jump at the same time, because you have to look twice at the same time, and it's not fair also that. So we always ask them to jump one of each time, and to make a fair competition and make this better for them and for us.
Well, once again, Paulino, welcome to the family. And one of the things that has changed, especially now with the formats, is there's families. So on the strapless freestyle side, there's different families where the riders have to perform in certain types of move. Mallory, briefly run me through how that works now.
So the idea of the families is really to add some variety to the competition. At the beginning of the strapless freestyle, probably like 5-6 years ago, the riders like Paulino, they will make the same trick maybe 7 times in the same heat. So in order to prevent that and to start showing everything that can be done on a strapless board, we started after every event, we see some new tricks. We still see some new tricks on every event. And we try to categorize the tricks in different families, and we kind of force them to do tricks from each family. Not from each, but the 4 tricks I told you before, they have to be at least from 2 different families. So we got the front roll families, the back rolls, the kick tricks, so shove-its, the board offs, the kite loops, and the air trick, I think, and the hander passes. So the board off and the hander passes, it's very technical, but the board off and the kite loops are the biggest families with many, many tricks that they mostly perform all the time. So that's why we allow them to learn 2 tricks in those families. They don't always understand that, and some of them repeat still. But slowly, with every event, if a new rider comes in, he starts to see how the others compete, and they can build their strategy depending on that. Now, if we have waves, if we're lucky to have waves, then we probably decide most of the time, depending on how good they are, we ask for 2 best waves, 2 best tricks, or 2 best waves, 1 best trick. And that way, we like the mixed format because in most of the places we go, it's never perfect waves, except if you go to Cape Verde, it is pretty good. But place like here, you do get some good waves, but also really strong wind, which is good for freestyle. So we try to show both things that can be done on a kite strapless. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mallory. And Paulino, one thing I want to ask you from the let's say, ex-rider point of view. One of the things we're seeing now with the strapless, and especially after that last event in Silt, it's going big and it's power. I remember you in Fuerteventura, you were one of the first guys to land a boogie loop. How do you see the progression? Because it seems like every single event, the guys are coming with, let's say, better execution, so more quality versus quantity, which is what we've also seen on twin tip freestyle. But where's the limit?
I totally remember that. The trick, yeah. Actually, it was the first attempt I tried, and I landed. And Fuerteventura had that thing. We had some gusts coming out of nowhere, and we last minute, boom, and okay, it came out of nothing. And yeah, it's always good to have some riders pushing something new, so the other riders will make it better in the future. And I think it's how it works. And we have also the twin tip guys that make some stuff, crazy stuff, and we can get some inputs from them and try to pull the annual passes with strapless. I think it's very technical depending on the conditions also, and it's something that will improve with the time, but I think it's harder because you break more boards trying it, so, and the sponsors are not happy with that. So I think I think the big air thing, it's really good because the board sticks your foot with stronger wind, so you can just fly it and be next to the twin tip guys flying. I think it's, for us, it's a big smile. Oh, we don't have straps. So it's always an interesting thing to see the people flying. And but I think it's really important also the technical tricks, because walking your foot without any grabs and make the shove it and the boards sticking in your foot, it's the essence of strapless, and we cannot always forget about it. Not just grabbing the board and fly high. I think it's really important to do it, and we have some riders, they are focused on that and keep doing it, and we have to be balanced on that kind of styles. But yeah, we like to see people flying and doing good things with the surfboard.
Absolutely, and that's some of the action we are hoping to see here. Forecast, like you say, a little bit light, but hey, maybe we'll be seeing some of the technical new innovation tricks. But stay tuned, because we are going to be getting some wind very soon. Great to catch up there with our judges, Mallory and Paulino, talking a little bit about the format. And joining me now in the booth, we have the 2016 World Champion, Matchu Lopes. Matchu, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Joe. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, we're here in Denmark. What a great weather, right?
It's a little chilly. I mean, obviously, you know, we call you tropical for a reason. You like the sun, you like the warm weather, but you know, it's nice to mix it up a little bit sometimes. First time for us in Denmark. I know you've been hanging out here a little bit, and also, you know, you're used to the Canaries now, because I know you've just moved to Gran Canaria.
Exactly. Living right now in Gran Canaria, El Burrero. It's a little town, fisherman town. Actually, there's not many people, it's just a couple kiters there, and the place is so beautiful. The wind is so good. There's no beach, it's little rocks on the entrance, which makes the place not crowded, but the quality wind is just unbelievable, and the place is also very nice. And yeah, Canary Islands, we know it's tropical, the wind is there, the weather is good, so I like to be in the places like this more or less.
Yeah, I mean, all of us like the warm weather. But Matchu, you know, as we said, first time here in Denmark, the potential this spot has. We've seen some of the riders 3 or 4 minutes ago. Sorry guys, looks like we've got some issues here. Welcome back, everybody, and joining me here in the booth is Capucine Delannoy and Camille Delannoy, the family of kiters. Both of these guys are the best of the best when it comes to strapless freestyle and getting into the waves. Capucine, welcome, and first, congratulations on winning Silt.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, Capucine. Camille, tell me a little bit about, I mean, you've brought up your little sister. She's been kiting with you. Both of you are now teammates as well. It must be really cool to see the family vibe. And obviously, let's not forget the little monster Tabor as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to be able to do that. We're all living, at the same place in Brazil, like right on the spot, and we have wind every day, so it makes it really easy for us to train and to kite. And yeah, I'm really happy to be able to share this with Capucine and, of course, the little one.
Absolutely. So one of the, you guys are originally from France, but you live a lot of the time in, let's say, strapless paradise, which is Playa. How did you guys come to obviously go over there, and how is it to call that your playground?
So my parents moved to Brazil when I was 12 and Capucine was 6 or like 5. And so yeah, they moved to Brazil and we were staying at the beginning 6 months a year in Brazil. And well, you've been to Praia, you know how it is. I mean, it's really cool, but there's not much to do besides kiting. So for 6 months a year, I was only kiting. And that happened for me for the last 10 years. That's what I've been doing. So I think that's why I progressed so much and so fast in strapless freestyle. And yeah, same for Capucine, I think.
Yeah, like when we moved to Brazil, I was not kiting, and seeing Camille kiting every day, I think it made me want to try it out too and to do down with my family. And yeah, I really liked it. And then there's been an event in Brazil, so I started competition at my home spot, and I really, really liked it.
So Capucine, at the moment, you are the girl to beat. When it comes to freestyle, you're the first person to land the double front roll. You won the distance battle. You've now won Zilt, and obviously, you can see when you come onto the beach, the girls are like, okay, this is this is time for war. How is it to have that feeling when technically you've only been on tour for such a short period?
Yeah, I've been for the first time on tour in 2018, and I was competing with the same girls than today, and it is really cool to been improving during the quarantine. I'm really happy about these rankings, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
I'm sure it will go very well. And Camille, one of the things we also always talk about on the tour is that complete rider. Like I remember when you came onto tour, you had a huge level on strapless freestyle, but then on the surfing, you took the time, went to Cape Verde for quite a while to improve your surfing, and then became a more complete rider. Do you enjoy that? Have you enjoyed being able to become more complete? How do you kind of combine both?
So yeah, when I came into the tour, I definitely saw that my biggest weakness, I would say, was wave. Everyone was riding wave really good, like James and Pedro and me too and Ayrton and all these guys. I think they were born on a surfboard pretty much and in the waves, which I wasn't. So yeah, I had to train really hard to get to the level where I am, and I still have to train really hard because they're still way better than me in waves, I think. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really like waves, and I really like the fact to be able to do both discipline and train the both sides. And do a bit of freestyle, do a bit of waves, and start surfing also quite a lot, and travel to Cape Verde and Brazil, like other places in Brazil and stuff, to find some wave. That was really cool.
So talk to me a little bit about the moves, Camille. You are one of the guys pushing rotations. You know, you're one of the few guys who lands a triple pretty much as much as you do a single rotation. You really have that style and have complete control of the board. And like one of our judges, Paulino, was saying, you really control the board with your feet and not by grabbing it. You know, tell me a little bit of the two differences in between, for example, doing rotations or moves where you position the board correctly and don't have to touch it, and then the grab moves like those double front roll tic-tacs and kite loops that we see from you.
Well, yeah, I think that's actually a really good question. I think it's like two different kind of tricks. All the non-grab tricks where you really have to like play with the wind to keep the board like stuck and like glued kind of under your feet, and all the tricks where you actually grab the board and it's more, I think it's more about big air when you grab it. So you send like big kite loops and like kite loops tic-tac and boogie loop or like whatever. And then you have all the non-grab tricks that are like way more technical, where you have to like get the board under your feet that sticks it to the wind kinda with the wind. And then the faster you spin, the more the board is gonna stick. Also, the faster you go. I mean, it's like a lot of details going on. And it's like super interesting and super technical, and it's yeah, really cool to have like both sides of the discipline, I think.
Okay, so that's where I'm going wrong. I'm trying a single front row and I have to be going for triples. Okay, now I fully understand. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me here in the studio. Second event of the season, Denmark. Wind's a little light. It looks like it's going to be going more freestyle than it is waves, which I know there's going to be a smile on both of your faces. We wish you the best of luck, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. Sorry, a little bit of a technical issue there, so I'm going to reintroduce the man here on my left, Matchu Lopes, Mr. Tropical himself. Just a little bit chilly today, though, eh?
Just a little bit, my friend. We're here in Denmark. You know how's it? The weather, it's a good weather today for this place. But anyways, glad to be here with you, Joe. Yeah, let's take some points. What do you want to talk about, right?
Absolutely. I mean, as we were saying, first time for the tour here in Denmark. We tried to get the event happening last year. Obviously, that worldwide pandemic, just we were not able to come up here. So it's really nice to be here in Hvide Sande. Two spots. We got the wave location here on the south side of the pier, and then there's that flat water lagoon also to be able to play around in that. Matchu, obviously you've been a world champion before. You've been vice world champion and one of the most influential strapless kite surfers on the planet. Tell me a little bit about the sensations you have here, and also the new kids, the level that you're seeing competition after competition.
Well, the place is different. We've got a very nice pier that could make nice right-handers, and I heard also left-handers here. The guys who has been riding also in this place, they said the wave it's pretty fun. You can do a lot. You can put some nice combos, and it's not far away also from the judges, so could be nice action. And regarding the kids that is coming up, well, you have the big names right now which are on the top. You have James, which is coming with a lot of energy. You see him training every day. You see him, his attitude is different from the others. So this is really cool. Also, Ayrton is there on the bottle. You have Pedro Matos coming from Brazil, which is very young, very nice style, has a lot of power, and yeah, this place has everything to offer. We can get some waves, we can get a lagoon to do some freestyle strapless, so we're just missing the wind. I hope the wind comes up on the next days, which the forecast is a little bit bad, but as I was checking a little bit, I think on the 11th, I think is the day that is looking the best. We might have some good action, so don't miss it. I mean, it's gonna be very nice. We almost get into the last events of the year, so the title, they're thinking about the title, that hustling, that run, it's there, so don't miss it. I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, the fight is there, definitely. Like you say, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of hungry riders that are out for the grabs. Title is wide open, so really looking forward to see what Denmark has to offer. Matchu, talking a little bit about yourself, you know, you are one of the most complete riders. You know, you were one of the guys to be starting off with the double rotations, then getting into the kite loops. When it comes to surfing, all you have to do is check out that Bangladesh stuff you've been putting up on the ground recently. We're not going to be able to say the location, but tell me a little bit about that trip, Matchu. Matchu, because some of the waves that look so heavy, and it's very unique to see worldwide.
You know, Joe, people might think why we can't talk about the locations. It's just regarding about the respect for the locals, you know. They show me the place and they told me, you know, we bring you here because you're special, you're our friend, we like you the way you are, your style and whatever. But just, you can post it, but don't say where is it. Let's try to keep it as secret as possible, even if one day people will get to know it. But it's just regarding to respect to the locals and not crowding their spot in less than a year or in 2 seasons, you know. So yeah, the place is unbelievable. It's heavy metal. When it's on, it's absolutely on. I've got James right in front of me. He's just making the face that the thing is heavy. He was there. He was scoring big waves and. Absolutely, it's the best ride I ever rode in my life. It's the biggest barrels I could imagine to get on my backhand. It's something. It's an adrenaline that you can't compare to anything else. I mean, for me especially. And there's just one other places that I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming so hard, like really dreaming when I go to sleep and I think about it and I see myself getting into it. It's Fiji. Hopefully very soon I'll go there. It's very far away, it's very expensive, but yeah, these places are unbelievably good and it's priceless also.
Absolutely. I mean, moments like that are priceless. You got to pursue the dream. And I remember the first time when you went to Indonesia, it took you like 3 or 4 years to be able to make that trip. And I think it's super important to go after what you dream about and, you know, to be able to travel the world. And, you know, looking back on the last 2 years, Matchu, you know, just to be able to say that you can travel again and we can go outside again, it really has, I think, one of the positive sides of the negative that has happened. It's shown us to appreciate the little things.
Absolutely, Joe. Especially due to these difficult times right now to travel. I got stuck there for a while. I was injured riding this wave. The wave smashed me, my knee went all the way in. So the ligaments were hurt. I was 3 months out on my bed, couldn't do much. And then I head back to Cape Verde. The knee was very bad. The hospital couldn't do much for me too. So I was in full shape. I was doing my max, and then things can happen. But I say we have this hard situation with the COVID and stuff. But it is not impossible to travel. I still can make it. If you really want, you can do it. Sometimes it's a little bit, you know, it's hard that you need to do all these tests and it costs a lot of money. You need to go through a lot of bureaucracy sometimes on the borders and stuff. But once you're out there, man, there's no money that beats that thing, that feeling, you know, you scoring this big wave, so intimidating and so much respectful, you know, for this place. And yeah, if you haven't seen any of those places or these waves, just check my account, check my Instagram. You'll see some videos. James also has some really sick videos there. Yeah, you should check it out. I will talk for his own self.
Yeah, I mean, the location looked amazing, but I think that's really nice and it's very unusual these days. You know, you do have to prove your place. It is cool that the locals have said, hey, we like your vibe, we like how it is, but this location is secret and it's good to keep it where it's special. That is the word, Matchu. Okay, so coming back a little bit to the competition scene, you've seen the different tendencies throughout the tour. You were one of the guys to start the tour back in the day, and you know, we've gone from going into rotations to super technical to mixing it up with the freestyle, and now it looks like there is a big section of the fleet that it is all about going big. You've just recently moved to the Canaries, and if anything is known of the Canaries, especially Vargas, it blows. That place is windy. And also, once again, check out his gram. We've seen some very big loops, big rotations. Tell me a little bit about this new tendency, because it is all about the height at the moment.
Exactly, Joe. It's been a long and different steps, let's say like this, from this progression, coming from rotations, grabs, and then going to the tic-tacs, going high, just spinning the board, flipping the board. And now, exactly now, basically in Silt, we saw many riders just going very high, looping it different ways, spinning, double rotations, doing doobies and stuff, which was unbelievable, which was great to see what direction we are going, where we're pushing at. And this makes me realize what I need to work, and actually made me go into a point and made me move to Canary Islands, because I know it's not my best part. I'm not the guy who goes very high. I'm not the guy who goes very strong, powerful. So I need to work on it, and I decided to move to Canary Islands, where the wind is basically every single day on the summer, 35, 40 knots. So it isn't easy for me, it isn't easy for nobody, but it's just about the work that you put together in there, and confidence, and what you really want, and then you achieve what you want, right? And for me, coming for many years and to the GKA, the progression is a lot. You see new faces. We have lost some big names also that is not competing. My homie, my big inspiration as a rider, as a person, as a father, you know, it's I learned a lot with him and everything. But yeah, it's unbelievable, the progression, and where these guys are pushing at, and every day there's new things, there's new idea, there's different style coming from James, Ayrton, Pedro, also many other riders from Italy, France. Camille has an unbelievable style, technical tricks, spinning, twisting the board. It's just takes your breath, it makes you think twice, and makes you go home and train and push. Because yeah, and I'm glad these guys are pushing. Then the sport is progression, and it makes you go harder, it makes you go out of your comfort zone. And man, for me, 14 years, 12 years competing, doing strapless freestyle, if I don't have these guys coming up and push, and you're never gonna go further, you're gonna kind of give up your motivations and stuff. So I'm very thankful, I'm very happy. I go on the water, I have things to work with, I have motivations, and this is thanks to all the boys that is putting all the job and all the effort. And it's worth it, it's priceless.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very important to have that motivation, like you see, and just watching all the guys and the girls out on the water. Hopefully we'll be able to see it here in Denmark, day 2 at the moment. Wind is on the other direction here at the moment, Matchu. It's coming from the other side. We've seen a couple of guys go out on the foils. There's some very keen riders already starting to pump up the equipment, so hopefully that will mean that we will be able to get that little flutter, and we will be able to have this competition starting very shortly. Matchu, thank you very much for joining me here in the booth. It's always good to have a chat, my friend, and we're going to go over and just have a quick look at the highlights from yesterday, day 1 here in Hvide Sande. Welcome to Denmark, everybody, for the second event of the season here in Hvide Sande. A small fisherman town off the west coast of Denmark, named after its beautiful, endless white sandy beaches that come alive as soon as the predominant northwesterly winds hit its shores. With a flatwater lagoon on one side and waves on the other, it truly is one of the most complete water sports locations in Northern Europe. Coming into this event, leading the overall ranking are the 2 Australian riders, James Carew and Perry Roberts, but there are a lot of hungry athletes who want to take their place. Unfortunately, the wind didn't start here in day 1, but stay tuned on all the social media channels, because we're going to be going live as soon as the action starts. Wow, that was the action we had out there yesterday. Once again, unfortunately today, wind is a little light. We are hoping that it's going to swing around and go to that northwesterly. Gemma, have a look. What do you think that is going to happen today, and what is the idea?
Well, actually, Joe, just having a little look out, and the breeze is picking up a little bit, even though it's not the ideal direction. It looks like there's a possibility of something happening. I think we're on half-hour calls with Juan Antonio, our race director. So we'll keep you guys informed. The live ticker is still running. We'll keep you updated every half hour or so with what's going on, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get some action today. We're going to cut the stream for now, but we will be live again just as soon as the wind kicks in and we know the competition will be starting. In the case that we don't get the competition underway today, we'll be live again tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. CET. Myself with Joe here to bring you guys some more interviews, some more chats, technical talks. Anything else I'm missing, Joe?
No, I think that's it. Maybe we'll try and get a little bit of gossip on tour as well. So we'll try and mix it up and have some fun. Hopefully the fun will be action on the water. Best of the best out here. Day 2 here in Hvide Sande, Denmark. We will catch you very soon. Stay tuned to all the socials and hopefully we'll be going back live very soon.